welcome to the Chinyamaji podcast by Impact African Network. So you're here with Mumbi. Mark is MIA today because he's the guy behind the camera. And then, so as we were thinking of what to put on the podcast this week, we thought, the IN family has been growing and growing and growing and growing. So we thought it's best if you guys understand who's behind the IN family. So today I'm going to be talking to different people doing different roles in the, again, IN family. So I'll be asking them questions around their background, what they do, what they're looking to do in future, what they've seen in Impact Africa. So it's going to be an interactive session. So you can expect to see around 6 people. So first we have Brandon. So I'll just ask Brandon to tell us his name again. And then, what do you do in school and so on, and what do you do for IN? Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Brandon Ngugi. I study at Kenyatta University and I was doing environmental science. Yeah, so aside from that, I'm a graphic designer and that's actually what I do for IAM. Yeah, I handle the graphics aspect and anything that needs to do with that.
Yeah, so even before I move to the next question, I remember the first time I met Brandon and my first instinct was to find out, so you did this as a course, how did you end up doing graphics? Can I just get a sense of that?
So I guess it started with one of the organizations within school that I was a part of. This is ISEC. So when I was there, I handled their affairs when it came to graphics and social media management. And it kind of gave me something to look forward to when going to school other than the classes and the friends and things like that. And it was actually very interesting to do. So when I got an opportunity to kind of pursue that while working towards a good agenda, it was hitting the jackpot. It was amazing.
Yeah, so shout out to Isaac. I'm like the biggest Isaac fan. So to kind of take it to another level. So Impact Africa is we're driven by wanting to create impact in our communities. Yeah. It's in the name. Yeah. So we just want to get a sense of, what are your aspirations, life-wise, career-wise, and also, what is the change you're looking to see in Kenya, Africa, the world at large, yeah?
Oh, okay. So I've seen that Impact Africa is seeking to change the narrative. And I guess for me, a big change I'd like to see in Kenya and in Africa is that change of mindset. Not to follow the sequence of like climbing a ladder, like this step, then following this step, or following a path that people don't know. I think it's more important to create our own path. And so by changing narrative and transforming the people's way of thinking, Impact Africa is going to enable many people to go out there and find their own path and make their own way. And yeah, it's an adventure that I think will be a good one. And so personally, my career-wise, as you said, I think I'd like to also see where it goes. Actually, I can't predict it as of now. Yeah, I think I'm allowed to do that because.
Don't worry, man. You're too young. So
exactly.
It's okay.
But yeah, I'm just trying to be in the right place at the right time and see what will come of it.
Okay, that's interesting. So to kind of put you on the spot, so what are you most excited about joining the IN team?
First of all, I like the hands-on bit of IAN. Yeah, it's a very good place to grow my skill. When it's being required or there is demand for it, as compared to being at home and doing things once in a while. So that is one thing I'm looking forward to because I'll grow in that. And also working with a team of individuals who are also creative and who are also getting to develop their skills. That is usually a very good place to learn a lot. So yeah, I guess it's basically growing and learning. That is the thing.
100%, and we're a learning organization. Yeah. We're a startup of startups, so you're in the right place. So thank you, Brandon. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Not in particular.
So thank you so much. So we're back, and next we have Mark. So I'll let Mark introduce himself, tell us your name, of course, what you do, what you did in school, and so on.
So my name is Mark Orina. I studied mathematics and computer science in Jomo Kenyatta University. I just finished last year. So what do I do at Impact Africa Network? Basically, I'm a research intern or a technical intern, whereby we do market research, product placing, and stuff like that.
That's interesting. So I actually know Mark. I met him when we were in JICO together through MUN. Yeah, shout out to MUN. So this is interesting for me because it's, you see, the networks you kind of build in school tend to extrapolate to probably where you end up in life, and you most of the time you don't even see it coming. So yeah, and to just kind of get a sense of how you got into the interests you're into right now around tech and so on.
I'll start with the failures that I had before. So I basically just got very invested in tech and everything. So obviously when you're doing computer science, you think you know everything. You feel like you have that idea after Facebook and Twitter that will basically change the world. So we did a few apps. Basically, I think as I was talking to Mr. Karake, whereby we did a funeral app, whereby we were supposed to connect funeral homes with coffin buyers, just a whole thing. So we realized the app was beautiful, but
yeah.
I just have to say that. Shout out to the people who we work with. But the problem is we did not understand the market. That's one. So we just went in, we just thought the funeral business is a huge business, nobody's talking about it, so we did that. It failed, unfortunately. Then the next one we did was a wedding app, whereby we were supposed to bring in vendors and just a whole thing that we did. Yeah. So it also did not work out well. So I sat back, I think I was like now in my third year. I was also in JICO Tech Expo, whereby I was like, why is it that it's not translating? Why is it not connecting? Like there's so many apps, websites, ideas that do not connect to the market. Okay. And why is that? So there's that gap. So I think that's why I realized that I need to be doing my research better, understanding the market, just really getting a feel of it, not just sitting in a basement and coding. Yeah.
This is amazing because this is stuff we've actually talked about on our podcast before. And it's very interesting to always meet techies who, as a techie, you're in love with your project and your program and, the coding bit of it. But then there's the other aspect, the business side of the thing, how it's going to work. Are you actually, what is the pain point to the customer and so on. So that's actually what we do at IN, which is amazing to hear. So we're looking to shorten that learning for entrepreneurs and other techies and people trying to do amazing things. So yeah, moving on. Again, we're an impact-driven organization, and it's also very important to understand, what kind of drives you and what you're looking to change and some of the impacts you're looking to have.
Okay, first, especially this year, I want to learn. That's one thing. Because I realized, let's say, even after your degree course, you just have to learn. There's so much to learn out here. 100%. There's so much to really just grasp as a millennial, basically. In terms of the market, or especially in Kenya, what I'm passionate about, I really want to see the next big thing within Kenya. Not just, let's say, in Kenya, there are just the few things that would really work for you if you're in real estate, banking, and all that. But we need to talk about tech. Yeah. We need to really translate into let's say a medium level company whereby it's worth, let's say, the Forbes list. So basically that's what I'm passionate about. I want to see actually people make it in tech. Hopefully I also make it. So fingers crossed. But I really want to see that connect in Kenya. So
100%, man. I think that's amazing. And to just kind of bring it back to our vision, I think when we were trying to think about what are we looking to do with IN, our vision ended up being, we just want to look at the new neon signage 10, 15 years from now, and look at neon signage of Nairobi and see big brands that we're part of building. And it's very exciting for us to hear, getting people who are aligned with the vision of the organization. Yeah, so to kind of close it out, so what are you most excited about in working with IN?
Oh, before that, there's that neon signing. I really love that phrase.
Yeah.
Looking at the city skyline and seeing the neon signings and being able to, I love that phrase. Yeah. So I saw the passion in it, and that's why I'm very excited to work with Impact Africa. One of the things I'd really like to do, let's say this year, adventure. The uncertainty of it, the willingness to learn and being able to take on the unknown.
100%.
That's one thing. Also to learn, as I said again, really understand, let's say, the market, like the dynamics within the Silicon Savannah,
Yeah.
as they call it, and basically to embrace the future. Because the future is tech, whether we like it or not. So it's either you're with them or against them.
Yeah.
And so that's it.
Tech is taking over,
Yeah,
and
so-
it can actually you on the right track.
Yeah,
So yeah, amazing to have you. Is there anything else you want to share with our people?
Not really. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank
Mark.
you very much. Cool.
Next, we have Yonwa. So I will let her do her own intro. Tell us your full name, what you did in school, where you went to school, and yeah, and what you do for IN.
Well, my name is Yono Mwalago. I went to school in South Korea, a school called Hanam University. My major was global business. So before I decided in global business, the major was offering media. And so before that, I thought I wanted to join the media course, like full force. But then somewhere in the middle, I was like, no, this is not challenging enough. This is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I got into business, and I got so passionate about like so many things. And so like up to this moment, I don't think I get so many things that like make me passionate about that.
Yeah.
And so I just want to find that one thing that I'll like focus on and put all my energy into, and just like somehow give to the society.
Yeah, which is amazing. And I honestly remember, so I think last week I wrote an article about how people coming out of school are taking very interesting career paths. And I think I got some feedback from you, which is interesting. And the idea was people are leaving to go into young organizations, into startups, and because they're looking to figure out what their thing is and looking for more challenging environments to kind of put all their efforts and work into. So you can just go deeper into probably some of what you've experienced so far, and so like through IN actually, like some of the work you've been doing. Yeah.
Well, I guess like the first thing I learned from my head is that networking is important, I was just always in my little cocoon, of just being, just this student who's like, learning stuff. But then with IN, like starting with writing the list and getting to know all these venture capitalists and all these like these new ideas, was just like really important for me to like get introduced to the world in such a manner, So right now I know that like networking is really, really important,
It's all about building those networks.
Yeah. And so like when I'm looking into someone's contact, I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. Who is this? What do they do? And stuff like that. So I guess that's like kind of helping me just personally, build myself professionally also.
Yeah, and to kind of move on to the next level, it's important to begin with the end in mind. And I know for you have your own aspirations career-wise, personally, and also just for the larger, Kenya or Africa. So I just want to get a sense of what that is.
Well, like one of the reasons that I decided just to come back to Kenya is because like when you're like in a country like Korea, they're like well developed and stuff, the system is like really working, And I was thinking to myself like, we have so much talent in Kenya,
100%.
so much.
Yeah.
And why can't we make this happen? There's so many gaps that need to be filled, but there are people who have like all these talents. So my thing is like, how can we connect this and like make these people know that it's possible to manifest this greatness in Kenya as well?
So it's for us to get from where we are to the next big thing, and
Exactly.
there's potential for growth.
Yeah.
And it's important for young people who understand that, because now you understand what your role is in bringing us to the next level.
Exactly.
Which is very interesting to hear. I love that. So finally, what are you most excited about in your journey in IN? What are you looking to do? What is exciting for you?
Well, what's exciting for me is that like right now I'm already trying to see how the dots can be connected, so that we can like create this new Silicon Savannah that we've been talking about. Yeah. And so I just really want to be in that mix, in the mix of seeing young people get excited about new change and just like breaking the old systems of having to work at like this huge corporation so that you can get, the usual stuff. So I just want to be part of that.
You're part of building the new economy.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, thank you so much, Yono. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners?
I think that's all.
You're good to go?
Yeah.
Sawa. Thanks. Hi, so next we have Pauline. So I'll let you introduce yourself. Just tell us your name, what you did in school, what you've been doing, and so on.
My name is Pauline Yathira. I went to JKUAT for my undergrad. I did actuarial science. Then I went on to do my postgrad in Strathmore University, where I took finance.
Yeah. So, and what will you be doing for IIN?
Mostly lying towards the finance line. Doing a lot of strategic planning and pricing and customer acquisition and just stuff along the finance sector.
Yeah. So part of what we're doing as IIN is building capacity for startups. So that's around whether they need legal, whether they need finance, whether they need marketing and so on. So your role is a very important role in that companies need a lot of help around how to manage money and planning for the future in the simplest of terms. So that's why we're very excited when we met you and you're looking to learn and just get an understanding of how does this work and becoming an expert in that sector. So I'd want to know more about how you made the transition from actuarial science to finance. How did that come up?
When I finished actuarial science, there was it wasn't like, it didn't feel complete. It felt like there needed to be so many things that needed to be done before I became an actuarial professional, which I felt like it would take just too much time. So I decided to major in the finance bit of it alone. That's why I took mathematical finance. And with that, I've gained a bit of knowledge about how companies can be helped to grow, the in-depth of from where they started to where they would be when you meet them, and to where you can project them
in the future. And that's actually very important because most people don't have that capability. And I remember being very excited the first time we met and you were talking about how much you just love Excel sheets. You love spreadsheets. That's your world.
I just find it so easy. It comes easily to me, I think, and that's why I was interested in the finance bit of it, the mathematical finance. It just comes easily. Being able to make sense of the math and because not very many people understand when you see Excel sheets and numbers, and it's kind of scary. So being able to interpret that into like telling you what you need to do, what you need to stop doing as a business or as a new entrepreneur, it's very interesting to me.
100%, and I'm super excited to watch your journey as you become, financial modeling expert of Nairobi and Africa at large. So and so the other question I'd have for you would pretty much be, what are you looking to do in the long term, career-wise, or what sort of impact are you looking to have, whether in finance or just in general?
Just being able to shed light on the finance bit, I think, is because that's where my focus is at, and career-wise, hopefully, just even turning as I become a professional myself, just being able to maybe teach or bring up other professionals.
That's very important.
As I continue learning, you also continue giving and helping just other people understand what I also understand.
And that's the cultural mindset shift we're working to bring up. It's more of, if you're good at something, you're playing it forward, and you're teaching other people. It's not just you, but you're building a generation of Paulines. So, and lastly, what are you most excited about with regards to your journey in IIN?
The vision, I think it was a very interesting vision. The neon signage, being able to see how far we've come. I think it's very interesting just seeing how much we consume from other people. It's about time that we start also creating from our own, and so that others can consume what is being created within Kenya.
Exactly, I have nothing to add to that. So thank you so much, Pauline.
Okay.
Next we have Josh. So I'll let him introduce himself, tell us your full names and what your background is.
Josh Mwasi, I came from ECU. Actually, I was doing forensics first, coding and then a little part of me, till I realized that there's no need to reverse engineer, and you can just create something on its own. You get. So
It's very interesting.
I know,
Yeah.
because basically forensics, you just know, oh, this guy has attacked a certain system. Then you need to like now trace it back, see what you can do to prevent similar attacks from happening. Yeah, it's interesting when you do it, but then you realize you're like the cleanup guy, and it just doesn't make sense as much. Though you get like a lot from it, it's just that there's more potential in coding as it is.
Okay.
That's so I actually even got an idea on a system that I'm working on. I told Mark about it. Then, yeah, ever since, I think I've just been learning how to code.
So yeah, because from my understanding from Mark is like you're a super coder. So I think my interest would be, I just want to know more about how you got there. Is it something you started doing in high school, or one day you're just like, code?
I got an idea. As I told you, I was doing forensics, yeah. Then there's this coder friend of mine from where I live. I was like, you guy, can you work on this? Then he told me, currently right now my hands are tied. And since I have like major trust issues, I decided since he couldn't do it, I just like take it up on myself.
Yeah, you have to do it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually even found myself here.
Wow.
Since
So
I guess it, yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. So you can just tell us more about what you'll be doing in IAN, what your role would entail.
And at the end, as I said, I'm dev already. I just plan to help us since we're a startup. We make all the right decisions and we check all the right boxes, because we're not the first persons to try to achieve the goal that we've set.
Yeah.
But it's the small thing that will tweak here and there that will make us stand out from the rest.
Yeah.
And more often than not, you find that it's the small mistakes that usually end up being like sinking the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to make it such that on our end, on like the tech space, we're safe and sound.
Okay.
And
The technical side is your thing. Then I'm sure
Exactly.
everything is covered in that end.
then yeah, basically that's it.
That's amazing. So I'd want to get a sense of what you're looking to do with your career in future, or what sort of impact you're looking to create in general.
God willing, I'm planning to actually be one of the disruptors you get, because I find that the modern environment is too redundant. You find yourself doing multiple things, which ideally you should just be doing one time. You're doing them over and over and over again. And the time you're doing repeating it, you should be using it to do something like more creative.
Yeah.
Something that will actually bring benefit to not just yourself, but someone around you again. Because in life, you're just not supposed to touch yourself and go. You're supposed to try and
So using tech for the better, to make life easier for everyone, to
Exactly.
better situations, make processes seamless.
and
That's-
help generate money.
Yes, that's also very important. Yeah, you gotta create wealth, because so here's money is not bad, because people tend to be icky about it. But then the idea is to build companies that are so big, they're creating employment, they're affecting our economies in the right way. So that's a very good dream to have.
Because
100%.
this is something I just don't understand, yeah? Kenya, our tech space, yeah? We're active as hell. And it's just a mystery how we don't have a thriving tech company that can rival others.
That is a
globally.
mystery.
Exactly, so
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work to be done to get us to that end, because there are a lot of people doing amazing things, but then our ecosystem has the potential to become even bigger. Mark and I love referencing the Tel Aviv ecosystem, because for such a small country, they're doing such big things. The largest tech ecosystem out of Silicon Valley, and the market is not even in their own country. So it's people just creating that knowledge for people like you and other techies and people, innovators and entrepreneurs, just showing them how big this could be. And that's the type of work we're doing at IAN. So to kind of wrap it up, what are you most excited about?
What I'm excited about.
Yeah.
The fact that we're young and we're still developing.
Yeah.
And at this space, God knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, even the
Basically.
sky's not the limit, man. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
And that's the
And
power
that's-
of tech.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're part of the learning process.
Mhm.
You don't need to go to, like, say, if you go to an established organization, you won't really be doing anything. You'd be, I don't know, fall into a routine that's proven to work. So there's no much you're doing outside the
Exactly.
requirement. But now as you start, since you're not sure of where your next step is, there's a trail of, solid ground there.
Yes.
And then, so the next time goes, and so that's how you progress.
Yeah, I see you, Josh. Typical millennial, eh? Okay, thank you. Is there anything else you want to tell our listeners? You good to go?
Yeah.
So thank you so much. So last but not least, we have Cheesy. So she can tell us her full names, her background, and some of the cool things she does.
Okay, my name is Cheesy, the one you know, not any other one, Mutsumi. I am a USIE student. I majored in International Business Administration and my concentration was in marketing. Yeah, and I'm an intern at IAN.
So what do you do for IAN?
Right now I'm looking for funds because we're fundraising. I'm doing like the project for fundraising. So right now I'm basically looking for the guys who are gonna give us money.
Yeah, so people who are going to support us in the journey we're looking to take. So to take it back a bit, I think the first conversation I had with you, you mentioned that you play tennis. So I want people to know about that. So she's apparently a tennis pro, so you can let us know a bit more about that.
I'm not really a pro.
Yeah.
So I grew up playing tennis and basically, I've played tennis for a long time and I've played it really well.
Yeah.
And I've traveled to the UK, I've traveled to Denmark, I've traveled for the country and also for the schools that I've represented in high school as well as in uni. And so
it's been an amazing journey.
It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah.
If guys want to learn how to play, I'm here.
So and then to kind of take it back, so how did you come to do international business? How did that come to be? And especially because you even have a focus, so how did that come to be?
Honestly, it was by mistake. Because my parents are the typical African kind of, parents. Yeah, so straight out of high school, they were like, you need to do engineering because you can't just stay there. Because I actually wanted to do journalism.
Okay.
But they were like, no, that's not something, you can do. So you need to look for engineering and all that. But now, I just told myself, you know what, let me just look at what business can do for me, because I think I've also had like a niche for finding out what you can do for, yourself, and, basically just kind of try to be independent. So basically I've always had a thing for ideas. But now I just wanted to know how that kind of industry works and business. So.
Exactly. So how do you turn an idea into something? That's a business aspect of it. So that's great to hear. So what are you looking to do with your career moving forward, or what sort of impact are you interested in creating for Kenya, the world, Africa, whatever? Yeah.
Okay. So in my path, as I was playing tennis, I played in a place called Sadili Oval Club, and the director was kind of like my second mom, because I was in that school for a very long time. So what she used to do, I found, was amazing, because she used to get people from backgrounds that weren't able to fend for themselves, for lack of a better word. And she basically gave them the power of education, as well as help them nurture talents that usually would die. Because you're not able to use them. So that's kind of been something that has been in my mind, and I would like to kind of replicate it, but in my way. So that's my passion, and I feel in future, using now the skills and knowledge that I'm gonna gain out of all this, it's basically going to impact people in ways that would change their lives.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's more, it's very important when you're born, especially as a Kenyan or an African,
Yeah.
to see it as a duty to yourself to give back and to support people. And it's not even about helping them, it's just more working in collaboration with them to make the situations better, which is amazing. So what are you most excited about in your IN journey?
So far, like, I'm excited to work with the people around me because we are all young. I've not seen a person here that's over like that, you know, so it's a good thing. Okay.
Except Mark lifting his hands up.
Yeah, but you know, it's different from if, for example, I was going to intern in an organization that's already established.
Yeah.
And the fact that we are all learning is something that is very, it's very, like, I don't know.
New and exciting in a different way.
Exactly, you know, because all of you are learning, maybe out of this I'd learn how to code.
Yeah.
You know, maybe out of this I'd learn how to do spreadsheets and all that, you know, so, or even do graphic design, because all of us come in with different skills and like we're a small kind of thing, so you'd find that you're working with someone else, and,
Yeah.
you know, so that's something I'm very excited about, and
Yeah.
I feel it's gonna like build me in ways that I can't even imagine right now.
And that's for sure. It's intimate settings are known to bring out the best in people, and I love how open you are to learning everything. It's amazing, because who knows, maybe you're the guy who's gonna build the next. So yeah, that's good to hear. So anything else you want to tell our listeners?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. You had. So thank you so much. We love hearing back from you. So feel free to hit us up on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at Impact Africa Network, and of course our website at impactafrica.network. Have an awesome weekend, everyone.